All right, I think we'll get started. Can you hear me in back? Excellent. First of all, thanks for coming out on this beautiful Tuesday. We beat the storms. My name is Matt Creasy, Brown County Parks Director. And today is our official dedication and grand opening of the H.J. DeBaker Eagles Nest Park and Boat Launch. So we welcome you out. I would be remiss to name a few names here, but I don't want to forget anybody as well. So what I will say, there is several county board supervisors here, nearly all of the Education and Recreation Committee members, from Supervisor Wolf in the front here, if you don't mind raising your hand, Supervisor Thino, Supervisor Dwayne, Supervisor Pyle, former Supervisor Erickson, any other board supervisors? Oh, Supervisor LaFave hiding over there. And there was a lot of effort that was put in behind this project, and I applaud all the county board supervisors, along with our county executive, Troy Streckenbach, who will be saying a few words. And then we have other partners. There's the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resource. The grant folks are here, along with the regional warden. And our engineers are in back from JSD, Discover Green Bay, and a lot of other people that have been along this process, from the Green Bay Great Lakes Sport Fishing Group, the Algoma Kiwani Sport Fishing Group, etc. If I missed you, you can yell at me later. This project, back in 2018, is when a county board supervisor released a communication to purchase the old Eagles Nest site. At that point in time, it sat vacant for over 10 years and was on the real estate market. So fast forward to 2025, and here we are. That's a lot of years in between, but we're here celebrating that dedication and that grand opening of our area's newest park. Not sure where all those years went, but there is a quote that says, "Good things take time and great things take just a little longer." And here's where we are. We're at great things, and what we're looking at is something that's going to stand the test of time long after all of our faces are no longer on this planet, and our future generations can come here and enjoy this great water access that we have in Brown County. I also like to say that we, as leaders, are short-term stewards of our public land. It's our job to preserve, protect, and make sure that the spaces are here for our future community members and those visitors that seek that water access. So the success is much more about short-term today. It's much more about the decades to come into the future and those future generations. That's what I really want to celebrate today, is what is here for our future. Now, we know that the view is perfect and the water's refreshing, and the fish, the walleyes, taste pretty good too. But the site allows a lot more than just that. It is truly community access. We're celebrating our outdoor heritage here. For those that are fishing, for those that might use this access for hunting, for those that are viewing sunsets, for those that are just interested in taking a walk, that's what this site is for. It is much more than just a boat landing. It is truly for our community to access the water and enjoy the beautiful views. Now, we know parks celebrate a lot of different things. They're good for our health and environmental benefits, from walking to the fishing, the stress reliever of sitting out on this jetty and breakwater, and also the social importance. They're a gathering place. Now, today we gather as we celebrate the grand opening, but into the future, there's going to be a lot of social gatherings, whether that's groups of ladies that are out here to get together fishing, or groups of family members that are here having a picnic and taking in these beautiful views and beautiful sunsets. So as I said, the project deserves a lot of credit to get to this point. A lot of those individuals and organizations are here, and one of those individuals is former County Board Supervisor Bernie Erickson, that one who I started with that put that communication in. So I'm going to ask Bernie to come up and say a few words.
So it's great to be first, because by the time we get to the rest of everyone else, you'll be tired of clapping. So it's very good. Thank you. One thing I'd like to say is, Matt said I kicked us off in 2018 by putting a communication in, and to get the ball rolling, And the normal procedure when you put a communication is follow up to that committee. And I went out to the reforestation camp, reforestation camp, and the first thing I was told at the door was be careful where you walk, there's poop on the floor. And I walked in and there was penguins running all over the place. So between giving a small presentation to the committee and the penguins, we got this ball rolling back in 2018. Once the property was purchased, I belong to the Green Bay Area Great Lakes Sports Fishermen. We're a 501c3. We opened a Friends of the Eagles Nest Fund. And I, along with others, went out and solicited funds for the purpose of adding some amenities to this boat launch once it's totally complete. We got funding from the Green Bay Area Sports Fishermen. We got a promise from the Algoma-Kiwanee Sports Fishermen. We have a donation from Brown County Conservation Alliance, Smokies on the Bay, and numerous, Green Bay Duck Hunters was a big help, and numerous private individuals. And believe it or not, the individual donations probably equaled as much as we got from the organization. So we've got a tidy sum. We're going to figure out with Matt exactly what should be done, and we're going to do something special out here, whether it's cameras, flags, windsocks, benches, whatever. But if anybody's got an idea, certainly give Matt a call. One thing we probably could use was mentioned to me, and I think that we got to go through the Coast Guard on this, so it probably requires a couple phone calls, but maybe a red and green buoy out there for entrance. Maybe we're probably not real good on a flashing light on them, but it'd certainly be nice if we did have that, especially in times of low water. So with that, I want to thank you all. I want to apologize for not wearing a suit, but when I retired 13 years ago, I donated them all. I told my wife after almost 50 years of wearing a suit, I am not wearing them anymore at all. So have a good day, enjoy the view, and certainly enjoy the new Eagles Nest launch and park facility.
I've never seen you wear a suit, Bernie. I don't think you donated a lot. Leadership is key to any successful project, and we do have some of the best in Brown County, and I not only say that because he's my boss, but I'd like to introduce our county executive, Troy Streckenbach. Troy challenges me as a department head and isn't afraid to ask some of those difficult questions in day-to-day life and in our careers. But he also always has that 10,000-foot view over the various departments that he manages. So without Troy and his leadership, we wouldn't be here today. So, Troy?
Thank you, Matt. Bernie, I think I've seen you wear a suit once, maybe twice. The reality is today we're sitting here because it was a vision of an individual within our county board who said, you know what, we have an opportunity in a lifetime to address the safe waters of Brown County, because really that was part of the conversation, right? It was a safe harbor. You have Bayshore that's about, what did you say, 6 miles as a crow flies that way, depending on the water. If you have to go out and up, it's a little bit longer. And then you have over here where Salt Bay Marina. And as we all know, the weather in Brown County, northeast Wisconsin, can change just like that. And if you're on the open waters, you want to know that you have a safe place to go. And that really was the core purpose of us looking at this space. And then, of course, afterwards, once we realized that this is something that we wanted to do as a county, then all the other ancillary special things came to life, as Bernie was talking about. In the end, this doesn't happen in a vacuum. Of course, at the time when Bernie came forward with the communication, it was about not using any property tax levy dollars. So no Brown County taxpayers' money. would go towards this project. So all of us started to work on how can we raise, and obviously the state grants that we received to help us put this together, the private funds that we received, the DeBaker family, which this is named after, of course, helped the county in its purchase. So thank you to the family. I'm not sure if anybody's here from the family, but we do appreciate their willingness to work with us. In the end, what we have here, and I see Brad Toll and his team, is outside this waterways, we have record fishing. They told me at one point that the economy generates roughly $250 million annually just from having this fishery here. And we should be doing everything we possibly can to make sure that we're encouraging that discretional spend to happen here or people to have access. And so from that standpoint, from the economy standpoint, this checks off that. As I mentioned to you earlier about the safe harbor, that checks off the public safety. And then as Matt really talked about is public access. We all know that access to water, whether it's to kayak as we saw someone doing today, or some people who are fishing today, or someone who wants to just catch the sunset over the water. We know that having that ability as a public is difficult because there's not a lot of public access to waterways. And so for us to be able to provide this to the community, I think is a huge win for the Northeast Wisconsin residents, obviously Brown County selfishly, but the general public overall. And so from all those aspects, I think we really hit a home run. And as Matt mentioned to you, short term, of course, right now we get the benefit of this, but long term, I remember as a kid going out to Bayshore almost every weekend when the summer was there, climbing that big, huge hill from the boat launch. Don't know why we did that, but somehow we did. We were young. But needless to say, it's still there. We're about to embark on the renovation of that space to make that for what the future generations can take advantage of. And now we have this here for future generations to have those memories, to be able to go fishing, to access the water, or just enjoy the water. And of course, in the event that there's inclement weather, we have a safe harbor in general distance for individuals to take advantage of. And so for all the partners who made this happen, the state of Wisconsin, we did use ARPA funds, so the federal government, Brown County supervisors to the city of Green Bay, the Ed and Rec Committee, Supervisor Erickson, just thank you for giving us this opportunity and giving future generations the capability of access to the water in the future. So with that, Matt, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and thank you very much.
All right. I said we were going to keep it fairly short. So one other group of leaders is that Education Recreation Committee. And they were really the ones that, I would report to, and we would work through all the different processes of this project. The chairman is unable to attend today. So today we have our vice chairman, Supervisor Thino, who I invite up as a great leader over this project in parks to say a few words.
Well, I haven't been involved in this project as long as Bernie, but in my 2 terms on the county board, it's been a real pleasure working on this project. This is a fantastic project. I mean, just look around. Did anybody expect this to be this beautiful? I mean, it's just outstanding. And it's a real credit to the people of Brown County and Green Bay, to our leaders like Troy, and the members of the Board of Supervisors, and many, many people. This was a very complicated project, extremely complicated project. You had grants that had to be applied for. You had permits that had to be won. You had work with people doing the design work, the architects, the engineers, the people in the federal government, the state DNR, local officials. I mean, it was a very complex project. But there was only one element that put this all together. That element was Matt Creasy. I'm texted Matt Saturday. Hope I'm not going to embarrass you. I texted Matt this Saturday, and I said, when I saw that we're going to have this dedication, and I said, congratulations, Matt. I said, you know, this has been one long, hard effort on your behalf, but you did a great job. Thank you so much, and I'll be there Tuesday. He wrote back to me. Thanks. Get my handheld computer working. After 5 years of stress, limited sleep, etc., it's done. I opened the gates yesterday, which, again, this is Saturday, so that would have been Friday, and felt a sensation go through my body that I'm able to smile a bit more today. I can hardly wait till Tuesday. Matt, it's Tuesday. Thank you for your vision, your leadership, your hard work, and your dedication. Matt Cracy, he's the guy.
That might have been a little much, Dan. All right, so.
Buy me dinner.
Yeah, no. So a couple things as we wrap up here. The acquisition happened of this property back in October 2020. Purchased the property, and part of that was with our highway department and funds involved in the highway department. If you look to the north side of this property, between the fence and the parking, there's actually a flood mitigation channel. This area was experienced flooding over many years previously. So this project was not just a park, it also assisted with the neighborhood in mitigating that flooding on that side of the road. So that just shows the complexity of what this project all brought together. The project as a whole, because I know there's going to be plenty of people asking, the development was roughly $4.1 million from start to finish on this project. As Troy mentioned, there was no local property tax dollars used. That made it a little more challenging. It was a lot of legwork on behind the scenes from our department. Funding was secured through the ARPA, federal dollars, NRDA, Natural Resource Damage Assessment, LAWCON, Land and Water Conservation Funding. It was from RBF, Recreational Boating Funds, from the Nelson Family Fund, and from several private donations that were made towards this project. So that's what brings us here today. The general site development, just what we're kind of standing on here, was roughly $3.3 million, and then the remaining was involved with engineering, docks, restroom building, and miscellaneous items. Well, there's a little bit more work to do. We knew that we needed it to open, and as Dan said, I needed to get this one off the plate and move on because there's a lot of other projects in our county that are ready and on a bit of a hold right now. So we're pleased to open it up. Whether you are launching a watercraft here, whether you do use it as a safe harbor inside of the harbor here, shore fishing, picnicking, walking, viewing the sunsets. We also have walkways around. We heard from the neighbors during the process that getting off of Nicolay Drive was an important safety aspect, so you'll see concrete walks around. We hope that you enjoy your new park. I was talking to a gentleman earlier. We haven't opened a park, I believe it was Fonferric that the county owns, and that was in the late 80s or early 90s. So it's been a couple years since a totally new park has been developed and open. Enjoy your park. Don't let the day slip away, and get out here during the sunset and take in those amazing views. Thank you all for making it, and all of our partners that were involved in here today. If you're engineers, contractors, whoever else is here, please come out. Fishing groups, county board members, we're gonna cut a ribbon. So,
Bernie got
that's your end.
Give Bernie what? Give Bernie the middle.
Oh, Jim. Good. How are you, sir?
Do we want to step back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be in front. I'm wanted in 2 states.
Oh, only?
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Three, two, one.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. My knees are sore just watching. I haven't done the railings yet.